Guys, we're live. Hello.
Mhm.
Welcome back to another phenomenal week. Another amazing conversation about all things menopause, perimenopause, and postmenopause. We're excited that you're here, and we're going to talk about some cool stuff today. We are just making sure that some things are happening here. We good to go, Jen?
Well, it's always good when a good plan comes together. And I do believe that we might be, maybe.
Hey, I see us. We're here. All right.
You see
What's
us?
up? I see us. We're here. What's up,
That's
guys?
awesome.
You're here. If you can see us, comment in the comments so that we know that you can see us. You guys, every time we come on to do this, something's changed. And so it takes us a little bit, but we're here and we'll always show up eventually.
Yay, we're
Hang out.
here.
All right, Jen, why don't you tell us what we're going to talk about today?
I don't know. Let's just make it up, right? We're just going to talk about whatever we want to talk about, right?
No.
Or one of my favorite topics. Let's talk about stress. Because you know what? I feel like it is February, almost March. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel like this year has already been just flying by. And every time I think about all the things that I want to do, I'm like, I don't have enough time and minutes in the day. So I am super excited to hear what you're going to share today, Susie, because I think we can all use a nice little reset at this time of the year, actually, any time of the year. Nice little reset, a nice little way to kind of assess where we are, and are we getting everything out of each day that we want? Are we feeling joyful? Are we feeling relaxed? Are we feeling peaceful? Or are we feeling stressed? So tell us about it. Tell us how we can fix this because it feels overwhelming.
Totally. So those of you that are here live, I want to know for you, have you ever had this experience where you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, I have so much to do. So you immediately jump out of bed and you're like, go, go, go. And you're, I don't know, getting your stuff ready and you're getting out the door. And then your whole day is just like, go, 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 go. And then you come home and you're making dinner and then you're wrapping up and you got to run out and do all the things that you got to do in the evening. And then you lay down and you hit your head on the pillow and there you go. You're just like, holy cow, that whole day just went by. Did you even take a minute to be present for any of that? Or were you just like rushing through it? Did you even take a minute to think about how this is, are you present in your life? Are things going toward something, or are you just sort of spinning like on a hamster wheel and you just feel like you're rushing and rushing and rushing, but not super going anywhere? You're not alone. Type a 1 in the comments if you've ever experienced that, where you just like get through a day and you're like, was I even there? Like, what just happened? What's up? Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. So type a 1 in the comments if you guys can relate to that experience where you're just like, holy cow, a whole day just went by and I don't even know if I even felt anything or saw anything or had any thoughts. I've totally been there and frequently. This is an experience I have a lot, and I really have to like take time to just think about, okay, what is going on in my life that is causing me to just rush through all the things? What's up, Gail? Hey guys, thanks for commenting. Good to see you guys here. So what I want you guys to think about is just for a minute, what is causing you to go through life feeling like you're not present, feeling like you're not there, feeling like you're just rushing from one thing to the next to the next? The answer is your stress. The answer is something called cortisol. It's a hormone in your body that releases what we experience as stress. Sometimes there's positive stress, that's called eustress, and sometimes there's negative stress, and that's called distress. And what we want is for that cortisol to be balanced. People are like, oh, I got to decrease my cortisol. I got to, make sure that my cortisol levels are this or that or whatever. There's a lot of recommendations, we'll call them, on TikTok of like, you got to go get your cortisol checked. I think that's a great thought, but your cortisol levels change on a minute by minute basis. And so to go and get your cortisol levels checked is sort of helpful, but not totally. So what is a better way to do this? Yeah, you guys are like, not recently. Oh, that's good, Gail. I'm glad that you haven't experienced that lately. Way too busy when you're happening. Yeah, totally. So we're rushing, we're busy through our lives, and people are talking about, oh, I got to manage my cortisol. I got to know my cortisol levels. Yo, there's a better way to do it. And it's not that you need to remove stress from your life. I don't know about you, but the things that cause me stress in my life are not removable. My children, my spouse, my home, my dogs, my job, my life, my friends even. These are the things that cause me stress in my life because it's stuff that I got to do. Your cortisol is your get up and go hormone. People are always talking and giving it a bad rap, but it's the reason that your eyes open in the morning. It's the reason that you can stand up when you need to go somewhere. It's the reason that you are able to move in any situation. And so we want to sort of shift the way that you see cortisol and then give you back the control. That's the whole point of today, is to help you manage your cortisol. It's not to eliminate it. It's not to remove the stressors from your life. It's to teach you how to manage the stress that's in your life so that you can be successful, so that you can feel more joy, so that you're not just rushing from thing to thing to thing and through your life and not even experiencing your life. We want you to truly live. We want you to thrive. We want you to love and enjoy what you're experiencing in your life. That's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to do it with some tools that maybe you've heard before and some tools that maybe you have not heard before. And they almost sound too good to be true. Like, oh, that's really simple. I don't know if that's too simple. Even in the comments this week, people are like, I don't know if you can fix stress in 5 minutes. You can. This is a practice that I got from multiple books, from multiple research sources, and I've experienced this in my own life for years. And I've also put a lot of my clients, we have used this system in our coaching programs so that our clients go through this as well. So it's not just a one person success story. We've had many, many, many clients come to us that are there at that point. Comment a 2 in the comments. Hey, Pamela, good to have you here. Comment a 2 in the comments if you have been so stressed out that that's the reason that your health is not making it on your priority list. You can't get your workout in because you don't have time, because you're running. You can't make time to cook healthy meals or buy good groceries or things like that you're like, okay, these are the things that I really want in my life, but I'm just not experiencing them because I just am too stressed out. Put a 2 in the comments if you're too stressed to be successful with your health. You're not alone. You're not the only one going through that. All of us have experienced this at some point or another. It may happen now. It may be a future day. It may have been in your past. All of these things kind of ebb and flow through our lives, and most of us will experience it at some point or another. So that's how we know that this research is valuable, but particularly for women in perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, because your estrogen and progesterone help manage your cortisol. They help control it so that it doesn't stay high and chronic all day long. If you feel brain fog, that is because you have chronic stress going throughout the day and your brain neural pathways are being overstimulated and they're just wearing thin. And so they can't quite function at the rate that they should. It'd be like if you were to have your eyes open in a staring contest and you just have your eyes open for a long, long time, and then somebody expects you to read something. You have to like blink, like, whoa, holy cow, I can't even see that right now. That's what your brain experiences when you're doing that high stress thing all day long. That's what brain fog is. It's your brain's inability to focus on something because it's been worked at such a high level. Let's see, fatigue. If you get muscle fatigue or joint pain, that can also be a caused by high cortisol. Chronic high cortisol causes all sorts of issues. Weight gain. That's actually a big one for a lot of women in this particular phase. And one of the reasons is because our other hormones that usually manage cortisol are starting to decrease. And so that's why all of a sudden our cortisol feels out of control. Our stress levels feel like they are overwhelming us. Yes, Lisa, that's a great word. Overwhelming me. Yes. Stress can be that way. So what I want you to think about is how do we decrease the amount of negative stress that we feel and increase the amount of joy we experience in our lives? It's not by removing the stressful things in your life. I know that that's not what you want to hear, but it's also truthful. You can't remove a lot of those stressors at this point in our lives. Ladies, in midlife, we are doing all the things. You're in a high level at your career, most likely. You're no longer working at the beginning, most likely. You've worked your way in and you're working at a high level if you are a career woman. If you are raising a family, you likely have both teenage kids and adult children. And so you're managing different aspects of their lives. Other things that we're managing, obviously our health, but maybe you are also taking care of aging parents. Maybe you are also taking care of all sorts of different things because there's so much going on. So today, we're going to give you 5 simple things that you can, or simple things that you can do in 5 minutes or less that will help you to manage your cortisol, both short-term and long-term. I'm curious which of those is more valuable to you right now. If you want short-term stress relief, like right now, like I'm so stressed out, I have to be able to fix it in the moment. I want you to write a Short. Write the word short in the comments if short term is more valuable to you. And if you're like, I need the chronic stress relief, I need to be able to experience my life, write the word long in the comments. And if you want both, give me a thumbs up. All right, so that's what we're going to cover. Let's talk about how we can do this first thing in the morning. I already mentioned this. Your cortisol is what wakes you up. Okay, so when your alarm goes off, or when the sun comes up, or when your natural internal circadian rhythm tells your body, hey, it's time to wake up, that's what gets released is your cortisol. Cortisol is what wakes you up in the morning. For us ladies, if you wake up and immediately go into go mode, you're going to push that cortisol to a high level and it's likely to stay there unless you regulate it. Regulating doesn't mean removing, it means keeping it in balance. So you've got hyper is up here where it's too much of something. Hypo is where it's down here and it's not enough of something. Regulated is right here in the middle. So that's the whole point. Rebalancing your cortisol means we're regulating it and we're keeping it in a range that is healthy and productive. Okay, good. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm loving these comments, you guys. Keep them coming. Keep talking to me throughout this whole thing. All right. So first thing in the morning, we're going to start with 20 ounces of water. I call this my 20 and 20 rule. 20 ounces of water in the first 20 minutes you're awake. One of the responses that your body has every single morning is dehydration. Put an emoji in the comments if you've ever heard that hydrating is important. Every single person, right? Every single body system is affected by hydration. So we know how valuable that is. But for women in midlife in particular, if this is the first thing in your body, it helps regulate cortisol. Because when you first wake up and your body's like, oh, we're dehydrated, that's going to start pulling water from different sources. One of those sources is your muscle. We don't want that. We want to keep your water in your muscles. So we refresh that water by bringing in new water first thing in the morning. If 20 ounces sounds like a lot, if you're like, holy cow, I don't even drink 20 ounces in a day, start with where you are. Go with 2 and 2. 2 ounces of water in the first 2 minutes you're awake. I promise you, if you will start with water, it will change everything. Good question. I drink coffee first thing. Do I need to stop that? You don't need to stop it, but I wouldn't drink it first thing. Drink 20 ounces of water first, then go into your coffee. First of all, it's better for the way that your body is able to use your coffee. And second of all, it's really good for that cortisol. So let's keep that going. Good questions. Keep those questions coming in throughout the whole thing. We'll answer them as we go. So 20 and 20. 20 ounces of water the first 20 minutes you're awake. If you're like, I have to drink cold water, get a hydro flask or something that keeps your water cold overnight and just put it on your nightstand. This is what I do. I keep my water cold on my nightstand, and then the first thing in the morning, it's still cold because I got myself a fancy water bottle that keeps it cold all night. Your excuses are gone, ladies. So if you need that cold water, get yourself a fancy one. If you don't need cold water, just put a glass of water on your nightstand. First thing in the morning, that's what you're doing. It's the first thing I see. It's right next to my alarm clock. So I see the alarm, I see the water, drink it, move on. All right, what's next? The second step in your morning cortisol rebalance. Again, this is the first 5 minutes that you're awake, you guys. Drinking a little water first. The second one is going to be fueling. Ooh, this one can be debatable because different bodies react to this one differently. But for many, many women in midlife, especially those of you that are going through perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, eating some food first. Eating some food within an hour of waking rebalances your cortisol. Once again, your cortisol wakes up in the morning and it goes, hey, we don't have any food. We got to start recruiting and taking the food from other places in our body. Not ideal. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it some food to rebalance that cortisol. If you're like, I do not want to eat first thing when I first wake up, that's cool. Like eat something that's super easy to digest and you don't have to eat a ton. Like I'm not telling you that you've got to wake up and have a full meal within the first hour of your wake. That's not always possible. I do recommend some protein be involved, and if you can, a whole food be involved. Those are ideal sources. But again, start where you are. We'll work up to ideal down the road. If you just need to eat a half a banana or something like that, or drink a half of a protein shake, something like that where you can just get that going a little bit, that really helps to rebalance that cortisol first thing in the morning. So when you first wake up in that first hour, we're going to do some water and we're going to do some food. Keep it simple. The next one is fueling well. Again, what are we putting in that first meal? For those of you that are like, I cannot eat. If you work out in the morning, let's say that you wake up at 6 a.m. and you work out at 7 a.m. And you're like, I cannot eat before a workout because it makes me sick. I understand that. there's like a 90-minute window on either side of your workouts that your fuel is best used. And so if you cannot eat a full high protein 20 grams of protein in that first meal breakfast, that's okay. Have it be like a second breakfast. So do like something where you just eat something when you first wake up, and then have like a second breakfast where you're like, okay, this is my fuel, this is my good fuel. For many of you, it will work to do that at the same time. So for me personally, I wake up and I have a shake almost every morning within the first hour that I'm awake. That covers both of those things for me. All right, up next is refresh. You guys, how do we refresh? When you think of fresh, what do you think of? Fresh air, fresh foods, fresh, I don't know, whatever you're thinking of. I want you to think about fresh as in that fresh air. If you can get outside, if you can have a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of fresh air, that's really good for you first hour that you're awake. If you cannot, or if you're not willing to, I personally wake up at 5:30 a.m. and in the winter, it's like 20 degrees outside and it's dark, like pitch dark. I'm not going to wake up and go get some sunshine first in the morning because the sun is not up yet. I wake up before the sun. So when I wake up that early, I can refresh with something for me. And so if I get up first thing and I'm like, all right, I got to wake up and I got to do my workouts and I got to make breakfast for my kids and go, that's causing that spike of cortisol. But if you wake up and then you take a little time. So I actually meditate and I read scriptures and I spend a little time alone in the quiet. Before I have to do anything for anybody else, I fill my cup first. People give that example of a cup and a saucer. And if you start and you try to serve people from your cup, all you're going to do is drain your energy. And then by the time you get through to helping other people, yours is empty. However, if you fill your cup first and then your cup fills up and then it overflows to the saucer, you can serve from the saucer and your cup is still full. So that's the idea of this. Refresh yourself in the morning. So that's your new morning cortisol rebalance routine, you guys. We're going to drink water. We're going to eat something good with some good valuable stuff in it, especially protein for you gals that are 35 and older. And we're going to refresh, which just means take some time for you. Get outside, get in the sun, take some time to re-energize yourself. That's your morning cortisol rebalance routine. Any questions on that? Go ahead and type questions in the comments if you guys have any, and I will be looking for those. But let's keep going. So we've got morning. That's the first hour that you're awake. I know I said I would teach you the 5-minute routine. That's the first hour that you're awake. Now let's talk about the last 5 minutes that you're awake, okay? 5-minute routine, you guys. This is called the nightly cortisol cure. Part of this comes from the book called The Gap and the Gain by Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy. They did a lot of research on this concept. And one of the things that they found is positivity. When you write down 3 things that were successful from your day, it actually shifts the way that your neurotransmitters function while you sleep. So you can get better sleep by thinking about positive things and successes from your day before you go to sleep. For us ladies, the mind-body connection is very powerful. So if you actually take a pen or a pencil and you write down those things, you can type them on a screen. That works too. There's some mind-body connection there as well. But there's something about pen to paper with women in particular, especially after a long day. And I don't want you to take a half hour to do this. You can if you want, but I want you to take 1 minute. Okay, so your first minute of your 5-minute cortisol cure is to write down 3 successes from today. 3 things that you're proud of, 3 things that you accomplished. I've already told you several of the benefits here, but one additional benefit is that you create a pattern. Your brain is always looking for patterns. And so we're going to set the other half of this pattern in just a moment. But by focusing on what you are doing right, you want to keep doing right. And by taking time to celebrate that, that builds in a reward system to your brain that releases your dopamine, which is your happy hormone, and your serotonin, which is your satisfaction hormone. It's hormone or neurotransmitter. You can go either way. It's a thing that is released by your brain that tells you life is good and this was a thing that makes me happy. So by writing down 3 simple things, 3 wins from today, this actually creates success breeds success. So this creates a pattern in your life of doing something and being proud of it. And then the next day you have more motivation to do something and then be proud of it. And it creates this internal motivation. If you have a hard time getting up out of bed, this one's going to be big for you. The second half of this equation is to write down your 3 priorities for tomorrow. How many of you write the word list in the comments if you have a running to-do list that is 1.5 miles long in your mind? Okay, the word comment or the word list in the comments. You guys, yes, we are all thinking about so many things. Even if you're watching the replay on this, you guys, I want you to participate in the comments. We're all thinking about so many things at this point in our lives because we have a lot to do. We're managing households, we're managing families, we're managing careers, we're managing all sorts of things. And so there's a lot going on in here. But here's the thing. If you are one of those that as soon as your head hits the pillow, you cannot go to sleep because your mind is racing, those racing thoughts are actually keeping you awake, this one's for you. What you're going to do is you're going to take a pencil and you're going to take a notebook. Guess what? It can be the same one that you just did your 3 wins from. So for me, I do 3 wins on the top and then I do my 3 priorities on the bottom. And you're going to write down 3 priorities for tomorrow. This is a maximum of 3. With your wins, you can do more than 3 if you want. But with your priorities for tomorrow, you have a max of 3. This, first of all, teaches your brain to prioritize the most important things in your life. And second of all, it gives it permission to shut off the rest of your to-do list. It's so powerful, you guys. Just think for a moment what that would be like to be able to shut off the rest of your to-do list. We are constantly thinking about the next thing that we have to do. So this helps us to be present right now. So you're going to write down 3 wins. You're going to write down your top 3 priorities, the most important 3 things you're going to do tomorrow. This also helps you be present in your life because a lot of times, a lot of the things that we do on a daily basis are recurring tasks. But if we think about the top 3 priorities for tomorrow, we might think of something that's unique about tomorrow. And that helps us to be present today. It's a beautiful thing. There's so many positive implications here, but it doesn't have to take a lot of time. I don't want you to really overanalyze this. Just pick 3 that feel important and start. Write them down. Okay, you're going to do 3 wins and 3 priorities for tomorrow. And then the next step in this whole process is your meditation. Okay, so in our MEC, in the Menopause Empowerment Circle, we do a full week on stress training, and it's actually next week in the program. So if you guys are interested in this, this is just a small piece of what we're going to cover next week. But one of the things that we're going to talk about is the 3-2-1 system for sleep. This actually isn't even during stress week. This is during a different week. So we cover stress for a full week next week, and then we cover sleep in a couple of weeks. And one of the things we use is the 3-2-1 process. So 3 priorities for tomorrow, 2 or more wins from today, and then 1 is your 1 thought. Okay, so I just talked about those racing thoughts, how you've got a million things going on in your brain. And then you're going to write down 3 of them, and you're going to give yourself permission to turn off the rest of them. But guess what? If this is new for you, it's not just going to turn off. It's going to take some practice. So how do we turn off the rest of it? You give your body and your mind 1 task, 1 thing to think about. Meditation is super powerful, but for some people, it's very intimidating. If you are a little bit intimidated by meditation, or if you've never done it before, I want you to put a thumbs down emoji in the comments, just so that I know where you're at with meditation. Okay, so with meditation, one of the main purposes of it is to give your brain a rest. Our brains are so powerful and they do so many things. But guess what? Meditation can give you a real break in there because it gives you a moment to just think about 1 thing. So all you're going to think about is your breath. You're going to count in for 5 seconds. You're going to count out for 8 seconds. By exhaling longer than you inhale, you're actually increasing the value of the air in your body. You're elevating the power of your oxygen, which is really good for your brain. And it actually helps to calm it down. It releases those dopamine and serotonin in a way that balances out cortisol so that you can actually relax. It increases your melatonin, brings down your cortisol, and balances all these different things going on in there. All you're doing is counting. You're counting in for 5, you're counting out for 8. And as you keep counting this, you're going to slow your cadence. So maybe when you first lay down, you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then as you've laid there for a few minutes, you're counting a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. You get the idea. Okay, so this calms your body down and it connects your mind to relaxation. And the most beautiful part is our brain is really good at counting patterns. It's really good at numbers. And so when you give it one thing that it's already super good at to think about, it's really good at closing out the other things. Again, this takes practice. So as you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 50 other thoughts come in, let those thoughts go and think back on those numbers. Counting in 5, counting out 8. I promise you, the more you do this, the easier it gets. If this is a challenge for you the first day that you do it, which should be today, I challenge all of you guys to do this tonight before you go to bed. Every single one of you, 3 wins, 3 priorities, and then 1 thought, counting your breath as you meditate in bed. This is while you're laying down in bed. This isn't like in a weird place in your house. This is while you're in your bed, your head is on your pillow, and you're about to go to sleep. That's the whole goal here. All right, you guys, so that is 2 of our stress relief and management methods. This one can be done in 5 minutes. If you're journaling your positive 3 things and your 3 priorities for tomorrow in 2 minutes, and then you meditate, breathe for 3 minutes, what if you could fall asleep in 5 minutes? Wouldn't that be life-changing? That would be incredible. So today we've taught you guys the what. I've just told you exactly what to do in the morning and what to do in the evening in order to manage your stress, both short-term and long-term. If you are finding a lot of value out of this, this may be all that you need. Maybe you just needed to know, okay, what is the thing that I need to do in order to do this? And now you've got it. If you want this to keep going with you, go ahead and comment the word stress in the comments below, and we'll send you the full, replay is not the word, but we're going to send you the full handout that gives you all of our stress relief methods here. So comment the word stress in the comments below, and we will send that to you, and you can have that. But if you're like, I actually don't know if I just needed to know the information or if I need to know how to do it. The what is such a small piece of the puzzle. Most of progress comes from the how and the why. If you know why you're doing these things, and if you know exactly how to make it happen, you go from knowing what to do to actually doing it. And when you have an accountability system there for you to support you all the way through the process, not only are you doing it, but you turn it into a long-term habit. And that is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. By taking in some good information on what you're supposed to do and then actually making it happen, following a process and a system that makes the how possible. All right, you guys, so today, that's what we covered is the what. Now, if you want to know the how and the why, you're going to want to join us in the Menopause Empowerment Circle. Jen, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Menopause Empowerment Circle?
I would love to. And I love all this interaction and these comments that we're getting. Everybody's asking for the stress handout, the guide. So we'll be sure to get that to you ladies right after the live ends today. But what is so great about the Menopause Empowerment Circle, so many women in there are getting these results that we don't even talk enough about, right? We're so many times when we're going through midlife, we're in menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause, whatever stage you find yourself in, we're talking about, things that we don't go deep enough, I guess is my point. So we don't talk about the improved sleep that our ladies are getting. We don't talk about the fact that we don't really want to throat punch people anymore. It's a fun fact, right? If people are chewing too loud, I hear that all the time. My husband chews too loud. I just want to I'm losing my mind. I don't know what to do about that. So we talk about the strategies to help with that because that is very real. When we hear it over and over and over again, it is not just 1 or 2 people. These things that women are dealing with there's so many times that it comes up and so many different women that are experiencing it. It's a lack of sex drive that can be affected by stress and lack of sleep and not having that connection with your partner. There's a lack of just feeling that overall peace and joy. And so everything that Suzi talked about today, as far as stress reduction and better sleep and these 5 minutes or less, these tips and strategies that we teach you, they really do work because the women that are in the group that we've had through the Menopause Empowerment Circle, and both Suzi and I have worked with women individually as well, and the results are just mind-blowing. When you really sit down and look at all of the different ways that your life can improve when it comes to improving your lifestyle habits, improving your nutrition, improving your sleep and your stress and your exercise and all of those pieces. And, it's a journey that we go on, right? So We don't just wake up one day and everything's magically better. It is a commitment. It's consistency, and it's really about being accountable to ourselves so that we can be accountable to those around us. You guys, I'm sure that there's somebody in your life that you care very deeply for. If you start to care for yourself as deeply as you care for those around you, then that's where the magic happens. That's where we see so many women get so many better results, because we're focusing on our own selves. Like Susie said with the cup and the saucer, I love that analogy, because when we're only taking care of other people, we're suffering in some way, whether that's physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, whatever our kind of situation is, we're actually suffering. And so when you add on there estrogen changes and progesterone changes and testosterone changes and all the biology that changes at this time of life, we really have to be much more focused on how do we take care of us so that we can take care of those around us in a much better way. If you think about how would you ask your best friend to take care of themselves, if you notice that your best friend is tired, gaining weight, feeling frustrated, feeling like she's angry all the time, not sleeping, you wouldn't just say, "Oh, you'll be fine. It's just menopause. You'll get through it." You would actually help her to feel better. So what we're asking you to do is help yourself to feel better, and come join us in the Menopause Empowerment Circle. We are so passionate about helping women in this space because we know that it works. We've seen women lose 20 pounds. We've seen that the sleep improve. We've seen relationships improve. We've seen so many things that are positive results of looking inward and taking care of yourself. So we want to share a little video with you, just 2 or 3 minutes of kind of some of the women that are in the Menopause Empowerment Circle, some of their experiences working with us. So Susie, do you have anything to add before I run that real quick?
No, let's just hear it from you guys. Hear it from Jen and I all the time, but let's hear it from everybody else.
It is so much more than just about the weight. I feel like I am strong and able to do the things that I want to do.
If I had to describe my experience in one word, amazing, life-saving, fulfilling, safe space.
It's just absolutely just changed everything for me.
I really felt empowered to be able to do it instead of put it off or make it so overwhelming.
I've lost 50 pounds.
I feel like these things are just becoming a part of my life, and I love that. It's so nice not to have to struggle with it all the time.
I have new eyes. I feel more self-aware and less critical. Fierceness, standing up for myself.
I couldn't be happier that I was part of this whole program.
I was in a position where I was just so down on myself mentally that I just felt bad in my own skin. It's just freed up that space in my head to tackle other things now that I'm not so worried about, oh, I got to go to this meeting. Does this outfit look, or I don't worry about that. I worry so much more about, okay, these are the bullet points that I need to cover in that meeting.
It makes it easy, and it makes it more exciting to make more goals.
Without this program, I actually wouldn't be where I'm at now.
I suggest you run, don't walk. Learn from her, get everything she sells, and change your life.
Is so effective. It has really helped me order my life.
And it changes your life. Thank you for your powerful message and your wonderful genius.
I'm eating more balanced meals and I'm drinking water and I'm sleeping, but I haven't done anything that you haven't taught me.
If you're on the fence or just not sure which direction you should be going, all I can say to you is take the leap. First of all, you have to have faith in yourself. But second of all, it's made a huge change in my life. Not just physically, but in the way I look at myself.
So that's just some input from some gals that have worked with us. Ladies, we are so proud of these women. Some of them have lost over 50 pounds. Some of them have lost 10 pounds. Some of them didn't come here for weight loss. Let me tell you about Melanie. She's one client that came just for stress relief. 100% stressed out in her life. And she's like, I don't know if I have Hashimoto's, or I don't know if I have a digestive issue. I don't know, but I'm chronically sick and I just don't feel good. And I know I can't find the time to take care of myself. So she jumped in here with us and she's like, you've got to help me. And I'm like, yes, for sure. So all we focused on was bringing down her stress. So she actually signed up for a full year because she thought, oh, I need the stress part, and I need the nutrition, and I need the fitness, and I also need to rebalance my hormones. I am not kidding you when I tell you, after 4 months of working together, she's like, I actually don't think I even need the program anymore. She signed up for a full year. And then after 4 months, she's like, I'm fixed. Like, I'm better. She was sleeping for the first time in I don't even know how long. It probably had been more than 4 years. She decreased all of the markers that were stressing out her health professionals. She had gone and like tested for Hashimoto's and all these other things. And they're like, all of your numbers are off, but you're not quite outside the normal ranges. So we can't really recommend anything. You guys, she went all the way from feeling totally sick and totally out of answers to feeling completely in control, to the point where she didn't even need us anymore. It was so beautiful. It almost makes me emotional just to think about it. And it happened in 4 months. Like, it wasn't even, oh my heck, it's just so powerful what the changes you guys can make in here. So if you are wondering what in the world is the MEC Reset, it is, the MEC stands for Menopause Empowerment Circle. So this is an online group for women in perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. Women aged 35 to 65. Nobody else is invited. Nobody else is in here. It's just for you gals. So if that applies to you, check this out. The Reset is our signature program that we do. This stress program, this is 1 week in the Reset. So we actually have a 12-week Reset. And this is one of the weeks that we focus on. Sleep is another one of our focuses. Body composition and body image. Losing body fat. What else is in here, Jen? Nutrition for energy, brain fog, hot flashes. We cover each of these things for a week in the program. And if you guys are interested in this at all, but you don't really know if this is the right answer for you, we want to offer you a free trial. Jen, tell us about that.
So you get to come in and experience the Reset. We have a whole welcome series for you to come in, take a look around, be involved in the group call that we have, see what resources are there for you, and just take part. So any obstacle that you have, is it too much time? Is it too much money? Is it too much, effort? You can get a full 7 days of seeing for yourself how this can fit into your lifestyle. We have many, many women from many walks of life, some that are working full time, some that are retired, some that are working part time, some that have kids, some that don't have kids. Like, everybody's kind of all over the place, people from across the country. So we have done the very best we can to eliminate all of the obstacles, and we want you to be in there, ladies. This is not, Suzi and I are very passionate about this. We are unlike other programs where we give everything we have to this. This is our life's work when it comes to why we're doing this. We're very passionate about serving women and helping you to get those results. We've got, I don't even know, 50 years plus worth of experience, 60 years between the two of us, a lot of experience. We have either experienced it or we will research it for you to figure out what is going on, because this is the calling on our lives to help all of you to get the results that you're looking for. And the great thing is you get both of us at the same time. This isn't just we're just going to talk about nutrition with a little side of exercise, or we're going to talk about exercise with a little side of nutrition. You're going to get it all. And did I mention that Suzi's a habits coach and an injury prevention specialist, and I'm a therapist and a diabetes educator? You basically get 6 people in the room. And so we have so much knowledge that we want to share. And the reason we keep talking about this is because we want you in there. We cannot help you if you're not in there. We can't help with your accountability. We can help you get the results if you're not there and you don't show up for yourself, so that we can show up for you. So do us a favor, show up for 7 days, give us an opportunity to blow you away with this program. I promise you, it is unlike any other coaching program out there, because there's just so much to it. And we just spent the last week upgrading, adding new things. If you saw our to-do list, it is very long, and it's long because we have all of these great ideas of things that we want to bring into the program and help and serve you guys. So come join us.
Completely. So just think back on all those different stories of those different women that we just shared with you. Some of them are here for weight loss. Some of them are here for stress relief. Some of them are here because they just feel like they have tried all the other things and nothing else has worked for them. And that's why Jen and I are here. We're here to support you guys in wherever health has led you. And we want you to try it out so that you know that if it's right for you. We don't want you to be like, all right, commit to a year and then find out. No, just come in here and see if this is right for you. If you're not familiar with us, Jen, like she said, she's a dietitian and a therapist. I am a personal trainer and a habits coach. So you kind of got a pretty well-rounded group in here. And you also have other women in here that are going through similar things. If that's not a powerful tool, I don't know what is. Have you ever had the experience where you're stressed out about something and then you go and you tell somebody about it and they're like, why is that even worrying you? And they just don't get it. And you're just deflated by the whole conversation. You don't get that experience here. Whatever you're having going on, and you're like, I'm the only person that experiences this, come on in here. And we'll be like, actually, there's a whole bunch of us and we've all experienced that. So it's really validating, but it's also a cool place for you to be able to help with your experience. Lots of the women in here, when we get on these group calls, we will answer some questions, and then everyone else in the group will be like, oh, I have a idea for that, or oh, I've done that, and this is what worked for me. It's a beautiful way for you to be able to take, I don't know, something that was difficult for you in your life that you overcame and be able to help another woman through that. It's such a beautiful process to pass it on. We love this method of coaching, and that's why we've built the program the way we have. And we want you guys to try it out for free. So come check it out. Check it out for a full week. If you lost the link, it is mecreset.com/free, or you can just drop the word free in the comments and we'll send it over to you. But we hope we'll see you guys in there. And we're grateful that you came today. We are just here to help. We hope this information is different than what you've probably heard before. And we hope that you understand that this all comes from research that is targeted to women in midlife. You ladies are our passion. You ladies are the reason that we're here. And you ladies are the ones that we're studying and researching and here to help. So that's why we teach the ways that we teach. And we offer this information for free, but information only gets you so far. So if you're like, hey, you know what, I actually do need the accountability and the support, jump on in here with us. And you get that for free too for a week.
All right, ladies, we always like to say that we like to make menopause make sense. So hopefully this made sense to you today. Thank you so much for joining us. We will get the guide to you, and anybody on replay, comment the word stress below the video and we'll get the guide to you as well. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next week.
See you guys.